Okay. How couples handle money together varies across generations. Gen Z adults between ages of 18, Gen Z is 27 now, are the most likely to keep their finances completely separated from their significant other with 38%. By contrast, baby boomers or adults aged 60 to 78 are the most likely generation to fully combine their finances with their spouse or partner, 44%. There's no difference between 44 and 38%. I thought it was going to be like, 60, 70. That's not that big of a difference. So uh, lack of joint bank accounts on married people. Bank rate, again, 2,233 people. They're not polling that many people, y'all. U.S. adults in December, including 1,124 who were married or living with a partner at the time of this survey. So about half the people are married. One thing that comes up is the anxiety of, will I lose my autonomy if I merge finances? No. See, that's the part, merging. I don't recommend that people put non-bill money from their paycheck into one account. That makes no sense. If you want to talk about auditing finances, tracking transactions, and both of you have an account where you're each insured, let's just say doing your own spending out of, when she goes to Starbucks to get her nails and hair done, you out here trying to hit the parlay, because the game's about to come on, trying to see if LeBron about to break this record or some crap like that. That all coming out of one account. If you want to do that, that's fine. I do not recommend against that. And I would highly suggest that people consider not to do that. Outside of bills, as far as your own transactions, their own transactions coming out of one account. Outside of bills, no. Y'all pay for everything else out of your own checking account. Right? I was gonna say separate checking account. Separate, not that they're joint, but like as another checking account. So you essentially have at least 3 checking accounts. You would have one, then your spouse would have one, then you would have another one where the bills come out of. That's what we have here in my house. We got more than that because I got a checking account every financial institution, but that's completely separate conversation. That's just from a liquidity standpoint and access to money. But yeah, you don't lose your autonomy. When bank accounts get joint, am I going to be able to get through this article in time? When bank accounts get joint, it's not so that your spouse then starts spending your money. It's from a transparency aspect and an access to funds aspect. It's not so that you get married, now they start spending your money. That makes no sense. Now, if you're in a situation where, stay-at-home mom or things like that, where only one person has income, that's different. But where you guys are both working, you just got married and you're both working, you're dual income, no kids, really nothing should change how you guys are spending your money outside of the fact that you're going to have that joint bank account for your bills. Right now, you're going to have one rent or mortgage payment. You got one set of utility bills, right? You might end up joining up your insurance, cell phone bill, things like that. Also, put all your Netflix, subscriptions, things like that, come out of one place. Outside of that, when she goes and gets her hair and nail done, when he gets his haircut, that still comes out of your checking account that y'all had before y'all even met each other. Why would we then combine it and have these transactions in one place to make it even harder to figure out when something goes wrong as far as an auditing standpoint, when these pennies don't match up, because that will happen? Why would we want more transactions? We just want the bills come out of the account. Ours is our rent, our utility bills, life insurance, and that's it. There's nothing else that comes out of the account. And then it's me putting the money, back into the account as far as the transfer to build it back up. So it's there when the money needs to be taken out at the beginning of the month, or whenever that money's due. It's nothing else. My wife gets her hair and her nails done. I'd be damned if that money was coming out the bills account. Now I'm joint on her checking account where she spends that money, but I don't go look at that money. I don't go spend that money. I don't even take money out of that account unless, something comes up where, I need to do it because I have access to it. So if we need to move some money around, I can just do it. Even I got her to log in, right? But I'm on the account, so I can go ahead and do that. Or she needs to do a transaction on my account, I'm like, just go down to the bank and do it. You're joint on the account, so you can do it. I get all that type of stuff set up. That's why you do it. It's not so that, she's spending my money. No, we do a budget every month, back to the budget. And that shows how we're going to spend our money anyway. So I already have the transparency on top of that outside of a joint bank account standpoint. When we do the budget, now our couples on a joint budget, bump joint bank accounts. Are you on a joint budget? We're on a joint budget. Okay. We have a set of financial goals. We prioritize them, and then we do what we can to hit them as fast as possible in the conversation. All right. You don't lose your autonomy. Now we get into a situation where people are mismanaging finances or financially illiterate, however you want to phrase that. That's when issues occur. When you get to a situation where people they unfortunately end up getting divorced, and now they're taking on credit card debt that was accrued pre-marriage, but they got into the marriage with the credit card debt, and now the judge can't figure out how many of the expenses as far as the total was pre-marriage, and now they've been buying diapers for y'all kid, and it's like, yeah, y'all just gotta take, you gotta take on the credit card debt. That's where stuff gets murky, and y'all need to sit down with somebody, me, if you want to, but actually get clarity on how these things work. People mix and match things and have incorrect information, and then get mad when they get screwed. Financial therapist Lindsay Brian Podevin, a behavior finance expert with Bread Financial. Almost half, 46% of people who are in a relationship keep their finances separate to avoid losing their financial independence. You do not lose your financial independence. First off, when you get married, you lose your financial independence. You should, because now you're on a joint financial journey. According to a recent survey from the financial services company, it polled 1,659 U.S. adults in early January. We don't want our partner to turn into a pseudo parent. Some of y'all need a pseudo parent because y'all be fumbling the bag. That's the part we don't talk about either. All right, because that's let's not talk about the screw this survey. Have you sat down with people and actually looked at their finances and said, "Oh, you definitely need a parent. You need somebody to tell you what to do with your money because you making your decisions. This shit is screwed." See, we won't have that conversation. I don't care about the survey and you answering yes or no, and it's anonymous. I'm talking about sitting down, either looking you in the face or virtually looking at you through this damn camera and looking at your finances, look at your bank account. You telling me you did this with what and how much money? Nah, we're not having that conversation. I.e., again, all these trips y'all took during the panorama, but now y'all don't got no money. Why have the vacations decreased? Is it because the plane tickets went up? Or is it because y'all never had no money in the first place and now that them student loans is due? Okay. We lose that financial independence. We all of a sudden get this dynamic of checks and balances versus equality. See, when the money is joint, never mind. When the money is joint, it's both of y'all money from a joint bank account standpoint. So one person messes up the money, it messes up both of y'all money, and vice versa. But part of the issue, and this they're slightly touching on it, but people who are married versus people who are not married. If you're not married, I'm not talking to you. This is for people who are married when we talk about joint bank accounts. For the married people, you shouldn't, when you're married and you still have this independence in the sense of when I win, it's my win. Okay, look at when I win, it's my win. All right, here we go. If I make more money, then my wife makes more money too. Like it should be viewed as that. You guys' successes should be viewed as both your successes, even they're like independent, like from a work standpoint. And your failure should be as both of your failures together, even if again from a work standpoint, not in the sense of that both of you quote unquote failed or both of you quote unquote succeeded, but as far as you guys being joint and becoming one and realizing that two people can pull more weight than one person.